Hello outdoor families, I'm Rebecca Roy and I manage the interpreter program for Vermont State Parks, and I'm also the Project Learning Tree coordinator in Vermont. Project Learning Tree, or PLT, is an environmental education curriculum for children in grades preschool all the way through grades 12. Here's the guidebook, which folks can get by participating in a workshop. But PLT also has some family activities available for free on their website, and I'm going to share one of those with you today, which is called Poetry. And you can access these. There's a whole bunch of different ones on the PLT website, which is plt.org. I'm talking to you today from a town forest in the community where I live. But you can do these activities in your yard. You don't have to go anywhere special. You could visit a state park, your local park, town forest in your community, anywhere outdoors where you can be in the trees. So for this activity, I like to start with a little bit of poetry, and I brought some great books out here in the woods with me today. Walt Whitman, Leaves of Grass. I'm going to read a little excerpt for you. Song of the Open Road. Afoot and light-hearted, I take to the open road, healthy, free, the world before me, the long brown path before me leading wherever I choose. Henceforth, I ask not good fortune, I myself am good fortune. Henceforth, I whimper no more, postpone no more, need nothing, done with indoor complaints. Libraries, querulous criticisms, strong and content, I travel the open road. And then one of my very favorites is Mary Oliver. This is from her book, Devotions, and her poem, Songs for Autumn. In the deep fall, don't you imagine the leaves think how comfortable it will be to touch the earth instead of the nothingness of air and endless freshets of wind? And don't you think the trees themselves, especially those with mossy, warm caves, begin to think of the birds that will come, 6, a dozen, to sleep inside their bodies? And don't you hear the goldenrod whisper goodbye, the everlasting being crowned with the first tuppets of snow? Vanishes, and the white fields over which the fox runs so quickly brings out its blue shadows, and the wind pumps its bellows, and at evening especially, the piled firewood shifts a little, longing to be on its way. So there's a couple poems that I really love. I'm here in September, and so these autumn poems are wonderful. You don't have to have any special books because you can find great poetry online or from your local library. I really like Douglas Florian. He has some beautiful artwork and beautiful poems in book collections, which are really fantastic for children. And I wanted to share one of his poems, which is called Autumn. When the summer seams have come undone, then greens to reds and purples run. A palette falls to forest floor, and autumn leaves leave me in awe. Okay, so you kickstart your little activity with reading some poetry, some things that you enjoy that you want to share with your family. And then you head out to look at trees nearby. And here I am in a place where there's a wide variety of different trees, and you can have children touch them, smell them, lay down underneath them and just observe them. Just look and see what they can notice. You can have them dig around the bottom of the tree, feel around the roots and see what it feels like. Smell the bark. This is a really nice, tall stump right next to me from a white pine tree, which is my favorite kind of tree. So have them explore all over and take time to just hang out next to their tree, observing it and checking it out. And for younger children, you can have them collect back together and share some words about what they observed when they were checking out their special tree. My daughter and I keep a nature journal together where we've done activities like this one. So you could use a nature journal, but you could just use a notebook or a piece of paper. You don't need anything special to do this activity. So here's one list of words that she came up with after we spent some time outside observing nature in the fall. Chickadees calling, trees, yellow and green leaves, listening to birdies and water rippling. The rocks make beautiful sounds when you throw them. The leaves fall down from a tree. Some trees die. The foliage is suddenly very pretty. So we put that together. And so you can come together and share words. The other thing that you could do is for younger children, have them draw pictures of what they observe, and then you can add the words yourself. So in here, she drew a red pine cone, a black walnut in a shell that we found, some green flagging tape that we found in the woods, a marble rock, and a closed red pine cone. And then, so you gather all this, and then together, if the children are younger, or on their own, if they're able to, they can put together a little poem. And this is the one that my daughter and I wrote together. The leaves are falling out of the trees, bright autumn colors for everyone to see. Now, I like the free verse poetry because you can go and write however you want to, and there are no rules. But there are lots of poems that have rules that might make a nice framework to help you write your poem and help your children write a poem. One of my favorites is haiku because haikus are usually about nature, and I love nature. And they have a really simple formula, which is it's 3 lines. The first line is 5 syllables, the second line is 7 syllables, and the third line is 5 syllables. And I brought one to you by a student named Tyrone, and this is what Tyrone wrote. Between the 2 trees, looking up at their branches, which one should we climb? So have fun out there, and if you write some poetry, we would love to see it if you want to share it with us. Have fun out there.